So in this video we will be discussing misdirections and how these have far-reaching applications in Jiu-Jitsu and how it's very useful for you to know. So a misdirection is where I am leading my opponent or my partner to believe I'm doing one thing when I'm really in fact trying to set them up for something else entirely. My first example of a misdirection will be from closed guard, and in this position, one common strategy is to take my opponent's elbow and try to manipulate it outward or inward. So take, for instance, outward. If I'm doing this, what I might be looking to do is to insert my knee across his armpit region. And this locks his arm out of play. And it also secures me the inside position. Now this can be useful in many ways, but one would be like in a self-defense scenario, because I am potentially limiting the range of motion of this arm so that this person might not be able to strike me in this scenario. Or, in a strictly jiu-jitsu sense, I'm also clearing some range to potentially work in an underhook. Since I have this inside space with my knee threaded in that area, then I can easily take my knee out and potentially try to find an underhook. So say I'm trying to manipulate their elbow outward, their common response will be to try to force their elbow back in. And when they try to force their elbow back in, I can then go in that direction with them and push that elbow and help guide it where they kind of want it to go. But in this case, I'm overshooting it and really pushing it down so that from here I can potentially throw my leg over and seek to try to find a triangle. This can be really helpful as I made my opponent think that I wanted his elbow outward when in fact I just wanted him to help me push it inward. So if I was trying to grab his elbow and just force it inward, it wouldn't be a very efficient use of my strength, because it's just pitting all of my power against his. And the person who is more powerful will win in that altercation, but I don't necessarily have to play that way. Another instance of misdirections is if my opponent is working a grip into my collar, say. If I want to break this grip, you can do your common grip breaks, you can try those, but another way in which you might break it is by grabbing it and trying to shake it in both directions. If not at once, but in both directions, one after the other, as quickly as you can. In this case, your opponents can only defend on one different direction at a time. And in trying to shake it and doing so quickly, his grip will try to loosen up or break. The thing with this scenario is that you have to have a follow-up in either case. So if it breaks on the outward motion, I would need to have some strategy in place to take advantage of that. Or if it breaks on the inward motion, I would need something for that follow-up too. But in the inward motion, I might be looking like doing an arm drag and reveal more of my opponent's back as a potential follow-up. My last point is that it concerns energy conservation. So when I am using my opponent's force against them and going where they want to go and just overshooting in that direction, then I'm really conserving my own strength and I'm just working in tandem with them. I'm not at all giving them what they want, but I'm going with where they're either pulling or where they're either pushing. I'm just going with that and just changing it slightly to make it a little more off balance like. So if they want to take their elbow in, then I really help jam it in to their body to where I control it at that point and they no longer do. Or if they want to push their elbow out, then I really go with that and I try to overshoot their arm to where they don't have a post on the outside, so I can really extend them. This is also seen a lot in Judo, but in Judo you'll see more of off-balancing type maneuvers from these upper bodies and their upper body manipulations. So if I push the elbow in, it might affect the person's posture more. If I yank the elbow outward, we're going to get them on their toes. So these have been my thoughts on misdirection and how it has far-reaching applications in the sport of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but how it's also used in other martial arts as well. Please let me know in the comments what you think, and also how you use misdirections in your own games, as I'm very curious as to where you stand on them. But that's all I have today, and I hope you consider liking this video and subscribing for more content. Thanks.